Right, it's a bit of a treat for everyone this week. We have manager Darren Salmon and a chairman Alan Salmon in a little duet this evening.
Good evening, Gav.
Good evening. So, gents, what was your take on today's game? Chair, if we start with you.
Yeah, you kick off.
Well, the most good part about today's game is we've stopped the run, we've put 3 points on the table, and we've got a 2-0 goal difference. So in that respect, it's good news because hopefully, what better result than to kick off for that big game next week.
Okay. Darren, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not interested in next week today. For me, it was about seeing a reaction from the players. We've had a lot of conversations with the players this week, and I think just to see a far more energised together group today. Obviously, the win was essential for us, but I say essential for us. It was important today that we saw a reaction in terms of the performance as well. So yeah, very pleased.
Okay. When you look across the lineup today, you made quite a few changes. Obviously, Sean Lyle started. You brought up George Baker from the reserves,
Yes.
which I know obviously will please you, Alan, because I know you're a big fan of George. You put Aaron Good straight back into the lineup again. How do you think those boys did?
Yeah, we did make a few changes today. I think it's important that we freshen things up. We said, the players, we haven't got a massive squad. I think I've said this before, contrary to public opinion. But I believe that we have strength in depth. And when people say, what's your best team? I always struggle to necessarily be able to rattle off an 11 because there's certainly similar calibre players in certain areas. The last few games haven't been good enough. We've conceded too many goals and we needed to try something different today. So bringing in George may have looked like a gamble, but we like George for a long time. I think he's never necessarily hit the heights for us that he's done in the reserves, but we know his potential. So he's one that we definitely want to work with and try and bring on. Sean was man of the match the last game, so fitting Sean in today in a slightly deeper role was never really an issue because he's industrious. And we felt like that was an energy level that we had lacked a little bit in the middle of the park. So again, he's took the man of the match today. So clearly, our decision was proven correct overall. And Aaron is a tried and tested player at a high level. Not to say that there are other players in there that can't do a job, but we've conceded too many goals recently, so we needed to just tweak things around a little bit today and just try something different in the defensive areas.
Okay. I'm going to come back to something you said on George. You said we've tried him a couple of times and he's not quite looked like the right fit. Speaking to him today, he was saying that he's been training with the first team a little bit more this time. So for him, it feels like it's not sort of something that's been forced on it. Not forced on him, it's probably the wrong word, but he's been dropped into a side when he doesn't really know people. This time he said he feels that he's sort of growing into it a little bit and learning. And he said that Sean and Pagey were just superb to sort of listen to and be around.
Yeah, and you know what, pairing him today, I thought, mentored him very, very well from a sort of player's perspective. But yeah, he has been training with us, for the last month or so. So he's probably a little bit more comfortable with the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As you say, defensively you changed it up a little bit. Aaron Good, obviously, an excellent defender. Made a couple of really good challenges today. The one right at the end when they could have balled it back to 2-1.
Big block.
Big block. Boggs seems to be steady. You know what you're going to get. Doesn't really let you down.
Yeah.
Obviously, the two wide boys are fairly solid throughout, as they have been most of the season.
Absolutely. I was really impressed with them today. Left back, we're usually quite solid, and we know what we're going to get. I thought in the right back position today, I thought it was a really good polished performance in there. Again, a good industrial performance from a player that's maybe not been playing at the level that we know he's capable of.
Yeah. Moving further forward, your two wide boys, obviously, Carl Henry's in very good form at the moment, as we know. Ben was a little bit off the pace last week. Stepped up a little bit second half last week. This week it was a little bit more of a role reversal. First half I thought he was lively, he was bright, took his goal superbly. maybe died a little bit sort of with half hour ago.
Sure.
But you must have been pleased again. I mean, another youngster coming in at the side, and although he's been in the first team before, he's sort of starting to make himself more of a permanent fixture in the squad, or in and around the squad this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I guess the ethos of the club, and sometimes people don't necessarily see it, is that we're trying to promote from within, aren't we? So,
Absolutely.
when the players are good enough, there is a pathway, and we are reliant on managers, promoting players, and I think Tyler does an excellent job, to be fair to him, behind the scenes in terms of promotion of his 23s lads. Mark and Liam have been knocking on the door regarding George from the reserves, so that's been positive, and I think Jamie is always prepared to promote his 18s when the opportunity has arisen, which has been a few times this year. So we're trying to get it right. We haven't always done, but to see those boys come in and put in a stellar performances is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first goal. It probably went a little bit unnoticed, but George had a big hand in that. Ball's dropped down. He's kept it alive for us, where it would have been easy just to sort of switch off and let the clearance go.
Yeah.
Kept it alive. Obviously, we recycled it out to Carl, and a good finish by Ben. So the two youngsters come in, get you goal. So
that was particularly pleasing today from Carl, because I said our decision making in the final third recently hasn't been good enough. So how many times you see those kind of areas where Carl found himself in the ball, fired into the side netting speculatively, rather than putting, with someone with the presence of mind to put the team's success before their own, reward. So for Carl to get his head up and not just try and take the skin off the ball and maybe miss the target, pull back a really well weighted pass to Ben, with a clinical finish. I thought was a really good team goal. I think it typicalised a little bit more today, where we felt a little bit more galvanised today.
Okay. So it's a good 3 points. It's hopefully just the start of us moving in the right direction. Monday's game against Ascot has now been called off. The league obviously postponed games.
Yeah, you know what? Many thanks to Ascot for their understanding. They've got their agenda. They're obviously doing well in the league. They're flying high. They're trying to get their promotion this year, having moved sideways into the combined counties. The league had indicated that they were happy to consider the postponement, due to the stage of the Vase that we're at. But from my belief, is that Ascot were magnanimous in making sure that it happened. So thank you to them.
Cool. Okay. We now go next week. A bit of a trek away to Bitton. Should be another tough game, but at the last 16 of the Vase, you don't expect anything else.
You want to say this one? You obviously must be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking very much forward to this game. Just a record, I would like to turn around and say as well that if there is any more of the Saturday night supporters out there, because they haven't got a game next Saturday and they feel like they're actually going to Bristol, please let Sharon know in advance, because the seats are at a premium, and we'd like to take a good support up to Bristol.
Okay. When you look back now, when you think of when you started the club on a Sunday and then you moved it into a Saturday side, did you ever think that you'd be getting this sort of stage of a national competition?
If I'm absolutely honest, Gary, the amount of people who keep reminding us that we started off as a Sunday side, when you're walking down the street and they say, "You were once a Sunday side." How could we ever see SCR, Centre 21, Corporate, IMRAD, a few of the names we've used in the past? How could they? And local people don't believe that it's the same club, really. So.
Well, no, and as you say, we started as a Sunday side, and obviously we still have the Sunday sides that are part of the club and the cult sections now.
Massively.
So,
it's still massively at the core of what we do. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I think, and also just to elaborate on that a little bit, I think it's not just about the fact that we're now in this stage of a national FA competition. It's about understanding that we didn't move into Saturday football until 2004.
Yeah.
It feels like forever ago to some of us, probably me and you.
Oh yes.
Mostly.
Yeah. Well, we
know
weren't great when it started.
We know the journey, but certainly weren't grey, no.
That's why you're wearing your hat, I believe.
That is exactly why I'm wearing it, mate. It's not coming off either. It's a bit lucky hat. Yeah, it's only kind of 15 years. And in that 15 years, we've knocked on the door, the last 2 seasons for promotion. Missing out narrowly by a place in each time. We've picked up senior honours in terms of the league, the Premier League Cup, the Southern Combination Cup, which is open to clubs of higher than Step 5.
Yeah.
So, I guess we should, sometimes you have to take a little bit of a look back and think, actually, we're entitled to be relatively proud of what we've done in a short space of time. But I have an absolute respect and appreciation for every club that does what we do week in, week out, because it's hard work.
It is hard work, and as we've said many times in the past, it's hard work, and 90% of the time, it's unrewarding.
Oh yeah.
You just look for those 10% that you get every now and again that makes it all worthwhile.
Absolutely. Yeah. So do you know what? Whatever happens next week, we'll enjoy it, because why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
And if we go there and when we're blatantly underdogs, we're talking about travelling to a team that's got 2 fellow teams in the competition as well. In Bitton, they've got both Bradford Town and Plymouth are in the are also from so 3 clubs from their league. So they're obviously a strong league. We've got to make the trip over to their place, which is a good couple of 2.5 hours, 5 hours round trip or whatever. And they've been winning games consistently over this period that we've been struggling. So we are the underdogs, but what, if we can do the unthinkable and go there and get a result, or even bring them back here, then you're only 3 games away from a place under the Arches, which is it's crazy thinking.
Yes, I think we'll leave it at that, gents. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.